Just so you know, Daft Monks is half talk show, half actual play campaign that features adult language and topics. Viewer discretion is advised.
Let's get to it. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Daft Monks podcast. Today we have Nate and special guest Ryan. Nate, what do we have on the agenda today?
Well, Nate, as you know, we have made many a foray into trying to make this. Actually, we always wanted this to be a real play podcast. The first season, which we've now migrated over to its own podcast because the audio is terrible. We did a bunch of attempts at real play. We did, if you remember, Role Play for One.
Yes.
Where you kind of guided me through some Call of Cthulhu, and that was fun. But we found our groove with Daft Monks. We like the story we're telling. We like the role play we're doing. But it's just so hard. The minute we try to do a battle or an encounter or we try to do mechanics, you and I just shut down, Nate, right? That's always been the case. Do you remember one of the Daft Monks episodes we tried to do a full D&D set of battles against vampires?
Yeah, it was awful.
It was terrible. It was so bad, and that really turned us off for a while. And then we've tried to ease it back in, and it just hasn't worked. But I've missed the real play element. I don't know. What about you, Nate?
I have too, because honestly, the thrill of the random dice determining the outcome kind of makes the game for us. But like you said, even when we played in real life, we kind of zoned out during actual rolling portions, and we're like, let's get to the role play. So hopefully we found some kind of hybrid system where we can install this actual game element, TTRPG style, and still have our fun, flowy, charismatic thing, I guess, that we do.
Well, we're going to find out, Nate. So listeners, what we're thinking is we are trialing today and for future episodes, for lack of, we might change this name, but a mechanics master. So they're not a true game master in the sense of they're not planning our whole session, our story. They're more of an augment to our campaign that will help us implement, gamify our sessions and implement some tabletop role-playing elements. So today we are very lucky to have our good friend Ryan here to be our mechanics master. So welcome to the show, Ryan.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Yeah, listeners of the podcast might recall a mention of me from Season 3, Episode 1, where you referred to me as a professional dungeon master in Canada who has a white guy name.
We did.
Yes.
We did actually have
Yeah.
it. We struggled with it too. We also listed Nate is in fact also a white guy name.
Yes, just a bunch of white guys.
Yep. Hanging out, doing cool shit. But on a side note, Ryan was probably the DM for one of the funnest one-shots that I have ever played in my life. I have played a lot of one-shots, but when he let me kill a small child and then take their identity and then escape in the shadows, that was the best time of my life.
I hated it. That's how we ended the session, and I was so mad he let you do that. I literally was the one who paid him to DM that session, and you got to be just a horrible monster.
It was part of my kit.
Yeah, the Whispers Bard. He got the roles. He got away with it.
I think what really stood out to me from the times we played together was nobody knows, I thought, rules more in and out, not just of D&D's game mechanics, but really any tabletop role-playing game mechanics. And also just the rate you did math is just unnatural. You could just very quickly total up our ability. Honestly, we would start to do the math and he's you got a 62. And we would be done. And I thought that was really impressive. And that's what we need on the show is somebody who can introduce those mechanics, but not slow the entire story down.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do a couple quick icebreakers and talk about your mechanics that you're introducing for the game today. And then we'll dive into our story. So I'll ask you 3 questions. So 1, what is either favorite tabletop game, role-playing game, or set of mechanics? And then what was the last character you made for any kind of tabletop role-playing game? And then 3rd, what was your favorite Daft Monks part of Season 3?
Ooh, good question. So I would say the TTRPG I play the most is D&D 5e. It's the one I'm doing all the time. So it's definitely up there, but I also there's a system called Kids on Bikes or Kids on Brooms, which is similar to what we'll be using. It's sort of adapted off of that and some others. And then there's this other one I have never had the chance to play, but I've been interested in, which is a Marvel's multiverse TTRPG with a superpowers system. the last character I've made is one that I just recently started playing with my friends. His name's Thalvor, the Keeper of Scrolls. He's just your classic old wizard. He's 92, coming out of retirement to try and save the world yet again. And he's crotchety, and I love him.
Sounds like a lot of Nate's characters.
Yeah.
Crotchety old man is your type? Is that...
Yeah, that's me.
We actually all have our like go-to character. We talked about yours the other day, Ryan. So like Nate's is like the old guy from like the Amanda show from way back in the day. Like, hello, what's going on? Mine is always some kind of like Russian femme fatale, for the only accent I can kind of do without like just being horrendous. And then yours, I would say, is sophisticated, high-class female who's condescending but willing to help the party for a price. Something to that extent.
So funny. That totally won't come up really soon into the session.
Definitely not.
Oh yeah, and then my favorite moment of this season so far, I mean, I know it's a really recent moment, but we gotta love Pierre. I'm a big fan of Pierre in that scarf. And then I also, every time Jer butts his head into the apartment is also a treasure.
Have you guys ever like met a real life Jer?
Ooh, I'm lucky to have not.
Kind of. The naive, like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm going to tell you something different, but they're going to believe it anyways because they don't want to cause any waves. Like, that's probably totally where I got the character from. So, Ryan, have you ever looked at like the Cyberpunk rule set?
No, I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, so there's a Cyberpunk TTRPG, and originally I wanted to use those rules for this season, and I bought the book, and after looking at it and reading the book, I'm like, there's no fucking way we're doing these fucking rules. Like, we are so used to 5e. The Cyberpunk rule set is so out the window that I'm like, there's no way we're learning this, let alone teaching Nate how to use this. I hated it. If you wanted to make a hacker character, like if you've ever played the Cyberpunk game, you can make a hacker character. And that actually involved a whole other fucking mini game within the game. So you would have to have your setup for your characters. But if there was a hacker character, you would actually have to have a little side dungeon that he would have to traverse with viruses and back alley software. And I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. So that is why we decided not to run that for this season of Daft Monks.
Imagine being the DM for that. Like now, not only do you need to like plan the campaign, but you need to plan the campaign within the campaign for other subclasses. Like,
yeah, it's fucking awful. I couldn't imagine. And I tried watching like the shows with Cyberpunk. They play it, and I'm just so not in the loop. I'm like, this isn't that great.
Yeah, if a game system is really making you work to learn it and not giving much excitement in the process, then something's wrong.
Yeah. So, Ryan, tell me about the game system you plan on using for the Daft Monks Season 3 podcast.
Yeah, well, it's a combination of one of the ones I mentioned earlier, Kids on Bikes, and one of my favorite sort of D&D shows, Dimension 20. On Dropout, they are currently doing Never Stop Blowing Up, which is where sort of lots of the names for these skills have come from, though I'm sort of merging the two, a bit of both. So essentially we've got 8 skills that are tech for technology-related checks, stunts for anything sort of agile or quiet or fast, wit for all checks to do with the mind and, noticing things, remembering things. Hot, which is for all sort of charisma-based roles. Weapons is for weapons. Brawl is for anything strength and fighting-related. Drive is for any sort of vehicles or driving. And tough, which is sort of physical resilience. And essentially, every character has a different size of die for each skill. So your best skill uses a D20 for 20-sided die, and your worst skill has a D4 4-sided die. And so it just sort of, represents which skills you're good at. You'll get higher rolls at statistically. There's a few other small mechanics, such as, you get tokens whenever you fail rolls, and you can spend those to increase future rolls. And then I guess the levels of your failure or success will change depending on how far away you roll from the difficulty.
This is so simple, Nate. Even I can manage.
I believe it.
Nate, how did you break out your skills? So, like for Roy, I put tech as my top, right? Because we're like he's tech savvy because he works at he works for a corp, so that makes sense, right? And then I gave him stunts as my next one, which I didn't normally consider him like physically apt, but because it was like, I imagine it's like because he's sprightly and has like small female hands that you said.
He's dexterous.
Yes, dexterous. That's what I'm going for. And then towards the bottom, you can imagine Drive was my second to last one because of the accident he caused in the first episode. Brawl and Tough were really low too. Like he's not going to win in a fight. He's not going to withstand pain very well. I actually put weapons in the middle because they're like a form of tech. So what about you? How did you do this for Ash?
Obviously, for those who have been listening, we based these season's characters kind of off of ourselves. So I actually put Brawl in the D20. So that would be our hand-to-hand combat. So I am very adequate at that. And also Tough is the next for my D12 because my life is in constant pain anyways. Wits after that because I do like to stay alert. And I think me and Nate actually both have wits in our top 3. And I think that pretty much coincides with the podcast because we're not a bunch of fucking dummies out here. So that's why we both put it in at least the top 3. And then weapons I also put in the middle because it's a fucking weapon. Like everybody should know how to use a weapon at some point. Drive is next. I put my charisma low because of the way that it was described to me. I am a charismatic person in real life, but that is only the people that I like. So I put hot at a D6, kind of lower on the end. Stunts, which is our dexterity, is also extremely low. I am not that dexterous of a person. I am more of a strong kind of guy, and dexterity is not my forte. And then finally, dead last, I put tech. And I think if you have listened to the show since day one, you should be aware that I am not tech savvy.
Yeah, I agree, Nate. Like all of that is pretty accurate to you, except your charisma would be pretty high up. But I agree that like Ash does not come off well to most people.
Yep.
And then I put it in the middle for me. I would also say in real life, my charisma would be higher. But I imagine Roy thinks he's charismatic.
His nipples are always erect.
It's a dead giveaway.
That was based off a true story, Ryan. I don't know if you listened to that.
Oh, yes, I heard. Listen to every moment. Internationally famous.
Dope. We ready to actually go into this, the actual fun part? Okay, here we go.
Daft Monks.
Daft Monks. Hey, Venom in the machine. Hey, disconnect your screen. Yeah, we trapped in the regime. We don't recognize the world. This reality's a dream. They've been watching from the citadel, so we can never leave. Nah, Daft Monks in another paradigm. Cybernetic state of mind. Another state of mind. Rocking with them Daft Monks. Let's take a deep dive. Taking over circus is the code we gotta live by. Yeah, we the Daft Monks. Hey, living as an avatar. Healing up my battle scars. Corruption left the planet dark. So we plugged in like we had to charge.
Last time on Daft Monks, I introduced Roy and Ash to some new weapons and a sweet new ride that my smelly Pep do together. I guess he's not always so bad, but I won't tell anybody that. Anywho, Roy takes the State Farm Mobile to the corner of Dulce Drive and Cabana Getaway to race some naked foreign guys, and actually wins for once. Crazy, huh? They stop by Ash's apartment to pick up the boy, and discover Midas Underbite is banging their neighbor's mom, or something like that. Kinky. Anyway, they finally get to Gunco, and it sounds like a lot of fun, honestly. Ash and the boy bob for grenades while Roy infiltrated the dusty server room, and that's when some Gunco goons arrive. Things look pretty hairy. I wonder how the gang's gonna get out of this one. Inferno out.
I'll add Nate and Ryan. If you're wondering why in some episodes we use Nate's voice and why we have mine, in my mind, that's how Inferno thinks he
AKA
sounds.
Ryan.
Oh, what are the chances? How terrible is that?
All right, so where we left off, you and the boy enter the server room. I am relieved. I thought you were perhaps some security coming in, but you were not. However, you were quickly followed by some actual, seemingly big, tough security guys. At least one of them is massive, at least 6'4", if not taller. And then another guy who's very I don't know. What's that guy's name from Looney Tunes?
Oh, Pistol Pete?
No, is that
Sam. Is it Sam?
Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite
Sam. Canada with a win.
One guy looks like Yosemite Sam, and then the other guy is just this bouncer looking 6'4". But he's got we're gonna give him a really curly pencil mustache.
Ooh, yeah. And me and the boy are eating corn dogs. I don't want to forget that.
I'm gonna ask you one more time, boys. What are you doing here in this dusty, unused server that no actual Gunko employee has ever used in a recent period of time?
Sir, like I said before, I have a kindergartner, and he needs to use the bathroom real bad, and we just accidentally walked into this place. It's, no fault of any of our own. We'll probably just be on our way.
Go ahead, Ash, and give us a DC 5 hot check to deceive.
Oh my god, it's a 5!
Yeah, all right. You need to take the boy to the bathroom, but what about this other one? What's he doing here?
Oh, hey, I'm Geek Squad. I'm just here to, apparently you guys haven't updated this thing in forever, and we got to install some updates, so you guys are going to have, the power shut off and some weird, crazy stuff going on. You don't want that. That's going to ruin the whole picnic, am I right?
I wouldn't want to ruin the picnic.
You also give a DC 5 hot check.
2.
You suck.
As if any of our corporate higher-ups are going to get anyone to touch these servers.
Roy's gonna look at the computer, and he's seeing the loading bar, so he's only 50% through whatever process needs to execute. Shit, I need to buy some time. And I just look over at Ash, and I kind of signal down as if to his pocket. Well, then I start doing a hammer motion.
I'm not understanding. Boy, are you picking up what he's putting down? And then I take another bite of corn dog. Oh wait, I think I understand. I spit out the corn dog. I reach in my pocket and I pull out my hammer that is now the shape of a credit card, and I am ready to push the button. I give Roy the nod.
You guys see that both of these security guys reach for these fancy weapons on their belts. Seem to have some sort of thumbprint detection so nobody else can use them. But then you hear echoing throughout the server room.
My apologies. Your credentials have recently been changed. Access denied.
What in tarnation?
Roy, what was that?
Did anything change on the screen after that credentials check?
Go ahead and roll a tech. Go and roll a tech check.
That is my best skill.
Guidance.
DC 5.
8?
Yeah, everything seems good with the computer. It sounds like the access was denied to the thumbprints of the weapons of these guards as they go to try and pull their guns from their belt.
Interesting.
I'm going to keep that to myself. And I'm going to be these guys look like a bunch of thumbs. And I make gestures.
I wink back at you, and then I immediately unload my hammer, and it goes into full hammer form from the credit card, and it's ready to go. You can see the energy starting to build up in the gravity hammer, and I am ready to fucking swing.
What the hell?
These security guys pull up their fists because their guns aren't working, and they'll go at you.
I swing.
Go ahead and roll a weapons check. What's your weapon?
That would be a 5 on the die.
These guards roll a 2. Yeah, you go ahead and you swing your gravity hammer, bash into the ground, and they fly back against the wall and slide to the floor as they struggle to get out.
Does that impact the computer I'm working on at all?
Luckily, no. His aim was very good. They hit the wall where the door is.
Ash, I'm going to be honest. Your weapon is a lot cooler than mine. I was really on the fence for a while. Maybe I was just a little jealous, but that was dope as hell. Also, we're at 69%.
Thanks, man. Like, that felt really good. Like, smashing people. Like, that old guy fell down, and that really big guy fell down. And the boy, who's still dressed like a Native American, is looking at me with admiration, right, boy? And he just gives me a thumbs up.
As you guys are talking, you see they've gotten up, and these guys both go to reach. One reaches for Ash, and one reaches for the boy.
Oh, don't touch the boy.
I'd like to try to use my blow dart.
Ooh, go ahead and roll the weapons check.
7.
The guard that you shoot at rolls an 8. You see the dart flies into his hand as he raises it up and glares at you through his fingers. Rips it out the back of his hand.
Jesus. What are these guys on, Ash?
Well, I don't know what your weapon even did. Like, you just poked a hole through that guy. Is the computer done yet? We need to get the fuck out of here, man.
83%. What the fuck? And also, can you grab my dart?
Okay, sir. Sir, we're gonna need that back. He's only got so many of those.
All right, here it is. He goes to stab you with it.
Oh my gosh, I hope this actually lands and hits you.
I'll get you to go ahead and roll a tough check.
Tough, okay. That is gonna be a 7 on the die.
Ooh, he rolled a 9.
Motherfucker.
See, he stabs you right in the collarbone with a dart.
All right, so now, Nate, describe what the bonus features of your fucking pink blow dart gun are.
So how this is designed is it's supposed to be not like a weapon to inflict pain so much as like the first person it enters, it like absorbs memories. And then the second person it enters, it like transfers those memories. So Ash, you are flooded with memories of a child like playing outside with his dog, and they're having a really good time, and then they go inside and the dog like rips up like the couch, and like you basically the whole life of this dog you experience. And then at the end the parents are fighting, they're on a farm, and then kind of Old Yeller style, one day your dad goes out, you hear a gunshot, and you don't see your dog ever again. And a tear goes down your eye, and now you're back in the scenario with us, as if time had not exchanged at all.
I think at this point, I would just sit down and just start crying. I'm like, what the fuck happened to me?
The security guy also sits down. Like, Marshmallow, why can't I remember you?
Marshmallow, I remember him like yesterday.
I use that moment, I'd like to sneak up, and with one of the keyboards that isn't being used in the other computers, I want to like unplug it and just try to hit the guy over the head with the keyboard.
Fabulous. Go ahead and roll the weapons check.
Guidance. Is a keyboard a weapon or is that a 10? It's a 6 for the weapons check.
On 6, you go over and you bash this guy over the back of the head, and he falls face down into Ash's feet.
Just like Marshmallow.
Who is Marshmallow? And I'm like yelling.
You wouldn't understand.
Well, boys, I think I may be in a little over my head, but you might want to be careful if you stay here much longer. I'm about to bring up some friends, and they won't take too kind till you hit old Marshmallow's owner. Be right back. And he kind of scurries out nervously into the hallway.
Roy, I think my mom made the best pecan pie.
I run over and I just rip the dart out of his hand, and I like shake Ash. I'm like, Ash, it's not, those are that guy's memories. They're not yours. Like,
What the fuck was that? I didn't like it.
I've never seen you cry before. I didn't know you were that sensitive.
I don't cry, Roy. This is bullshit. You know, I saw that golden retriever that I loved since
100%.
Fuck!
I'm like, okay, thank God, we got to get out of here. He's about to come up and bring his friends, and I get over to the computer, and I'm like typing like furiously on the computer, and I confirm, okay, it's added us into the gun code database. I think we're good here. And a bunch of like pop-ups start showing up on the screen, almost like a virus. And then one shows up in the middle with some text. And Ryan, what do I see on that pop-up?
Please don't go without me. We could help each other.
Ash, I think I'm getting an ad on the Gunko computer for an escort service. I know you know a lot about viruses on your computer. Can you take a look at this?
That is not normal.
You just see pop-ups like,
No. Not an escort.
Yep, not normal.
Just hit this download button.
That's definitely how you get a virus.
He asked kindly.
All right, give me your HoloLens.
Okay, take it.
I plug it in and put the visor thing on, and then I hit the download button.
downloads super fast, way faster than the previous download. And then the HoloLens flashes a pink and a purple, and then back to its usual color.
That's it. I literally say that like to nobody.
What happened?
Nothing happened, Ash. I think I just downloaded a virus on your HoloLens.
Well, if it's not doing anything right now, I mean, how much of a virus could it be? Like, I don't really know anything about it. Like, it's harmless.
We start to hear noises in the hallway. I'm like, shit, barricade the door.
The boy is immediately on it. Like,
Oh, and the boy's like our Deus Ex Machina. Like, we won't do roles for the boy unless we want to introduce some like maybe chaos mechanics for the child. I'd be down for that. But we like to kind of make the boy just do really random shit and be very unexpected.
and overpowered.
He could have 20s in every skill.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, well, let's try it out. Let's fuck it. Let's do it live. Let's roll for him barricading the door.
Fantastic. With a 14, you guys blink away, look back to the HoloLens, and look back to the door, and all the servers in the room have been pushed over to that side.
Roy, he's good, man. Like, you should have saw him bobbing for grenades. Like, this motherfucker is good.
We're going to have a talk about that when we get back. But right now, help me tie my ascot into some kind of rope we can climb out of this window.
Perfect. Let me show you what I know. I tie a bowling.
Go ahead, roll stunts.
Fuck. That's a 1.
So fun. Yeah, you go ahead and tie a knot in this ascot.
That should hold you, Roy. I guarantee it almost.
Yeah, I'm going to say no, Ash. That literally wouldn't hold my shoelaces together. Here, let me show you. Maybe it just needs a little bit of fashion sense and some man's touch.
Are you still wearing the fedora?
Yes, I remind you I was still wearing the fedora. But that's okay. I'll roll a stunts as well. Then.
Yes.
I'll look behind my computer. 11.
Ooh, incredible. Yeah, you tie a beautiful, intricate knot around some of the a very sturdy-looking hook that is mounted in here for some reason.
As I do it, I'm like, see, Ash, over, under, and I proceed to like do this like really horrible nursery rhyme that reminds me how to tie an ascot, and don't ask why I know that.
Well, I usually don't get jealous of another man's knot, but that is a really nice knot.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we hear banging on the door. Okay, time to go. Grab the boy, grab the flash drive out of the computer, let's get the hell out of here.
I got the boy under my arm.
Okay. I'm just gonna be wearing your HoloLens. Like, how does the HoloLens collapse? Because like we're not just carrying a helmet around with us all the time.
Right, so, okay, side note. I've been watching this really weird show on Amazon, and it's like X-Files, but cyberpunk, and sometimes they got some shit going on. So really, like in their universe, it's just fucking Ray-Ban sunglasses that's fucking mirrored, and then it has a little antenna. So I say we ditch the antenna, and it basically just looks like sunglasses.
Can you go ahead and say antenna one more time for me?
Antenna?
Antenna?
Yeah, antenna.
Is an antenna?
You know what? I'm not from fucking Rhode Island, so I don't say things weird, all right? I say it normal like. Say Nevada. How do you say Nevada?
We're not getting in this. So it's a pair of Ray-Bans then.
Basically,
it's
yeah.
It's not as like, okay.
Yeah, it's not over the top
as
as elaborate as we made it seem.
Okay, whatever. I fold up your Ray-Bans, stick them in my pocket, grab my paper towel holder thing for the blow dart encasement, and we start climbing down.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and both of you roll a stunts. We'll say difficulty 4.
Fuck! Oh, it's a 4.
Shit. Oh, I dropped it.
Oh,
It's
Nate.
on the ground. It's a 4. I'm keeping it.
Oh, yes.
Perfect. You guys slide down so carefully. This ascot is very, very smooth and slippery, but you manage to hold yourselves and just inch your way down.
What is this made of?
I don't even know, but the shit is fine as silk, man. Now, how do we get it untied from the knot up there?
I have no idea how it works. Fucking Pierre just walked around vigorously with it, and it just followed him everywhere it went. Maybe if we just keep walking forward, it'll untie itself. I don't know how good of a knot you made. It was a beautiful knot. I give you that. But maybe it was too good.
As this happens, as you're ranting at me, a gentleman gets in the window. He's like, "Oi, they're down there! Like, hurry up!" And he starts grabbing and like pulling the ascot up, and I'm like pulling the ascot down. I'm like, "Shit, Ash, he's gonna take the ascot. Help me!"
All right, I help you pull.
Both of you roll a brawl check
Fuck yeah.
against this guy at the top.
It's not my best.
15.
3.
He rolled an 11, and your 15 plus 3 gets you to 18. You guys beat him by more than 5. He goes to pull it up, and you guys go to pull it back. He flies out the window.
Wow.
It's only 3 floors, right? You should be fine.
No, he's dead, bro. He landed on his neck. Look at him. As we look, the body is scorpioned over, and his head is facing the complete other way. I don't think he made it, Roy.
As that happens, the announcer guy at the picnic's like,
And the winning ticket is
Ooh!
321 609.
I checked my ticket. Did I win?
We can roll a luck check to see if you actually did.
Roll it!
Go ahead and roll just a d20, and if you get a 20, you won.
It was a 1.
All the numbers are different.
Fuck! Let's get out of here, Roy. Piece of shit game anyways.
we make a run for it, and do we encounter anything, Ryan? Any issue? I feel like because of the excitement of the raffle, everybody's like kind of distracted. Just those guys in the building who are now trying to run down 3 flights of stairs at a Texas Roadhouse. Which, Ryan, do you have Texas Roadhouse in Canada?
No, we do not.
Do you have like Saskatchewan Roadhouse or like some other province?
Nowhere that I frequent.
What a shame.
You're missing out, man.
Yeah.
If you ever come here, we'll treat you to a meal at Texas Roadhouse.
Woo! We'll say as you guys are zipping out through the crowd, well, first of all, you notice that the ascot, there's still a trail following from when you guys entered, as well as where you guys are leaving. And we'll say both of you roll a wits check. Roll one for the boy as well, and it's difficulty 6.
Ooh. I got a 7. Boy got a 15.
Ooh.
And I got a 9.
All 3 of you managed not to get lost in the crowd, and the boy points at where Roy has stored the HoloLens and sees it flashing, and once you guys pay attention, you can sort of hear noise coming out of it.
I think you're getting a call, Roy, on my thing. You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that's yours now, because honestly, I don't know how to fucking use it. So go ahead and answer that call, it looks like.
I pretend to like hold. I don't even think handphones like look like this anymore, but I do the like pinky thumb. I have like the sunglasses on, and then I have like the pinky thumb kind of phone gesture. I'm like, hello?
Hello. You might want to hurry up. There are Gunko forces following your trail.
Really? I mean, I could have maybe. How do you know that? Who is this?
Who is it?
My name is Nova. I'm an artificial intelligence. You just rescued me from the Gunko servers. Now if you could hurry.
Yep, that checks out to me. Let's go, Ash.
Okay, I don't know who you're talking to, but I'm gonna fucking go, and I'm still carrying the boy.
She's still on the line. I'm doing the thing now where I take like the glasses off and like kind of whisper to him, and then like, so anytime I'm not talking to Nova, I like take the glasses off, and I'm like, I take glasses. I'm like, hey, says it's Nova. She's an AI. Apparently she was in that computer. that I just downloaded something from on your HoloLens, and she says that we're being tracked by Gunko. Now we should get out of here.
Well, anybody could have figured that out. And also, that is your HoloLens now. Let's get the fuck out of here.
I put it back on. Yes, we agree that you are very helpful, and we would like to meet you in person. Where can we find you at? What address?
In person. I don't think you understand. I don't have a physical form. I am in your HoloLens.
I'm like, holy shit. I take the glasses off. As she's in the HoloLens, I gesture at the glasses.
That doesn't even make sense, Roy. How can a person be in the HoloLens?
No. She's an AI. It's an AI. I don't. What's the pronoun for AIs these days? I don't. Anywho, let's get out of here. Hit the gas, and we'll bring this to Inferno. He can make sense of it. Hello, yes, Nova. We're gonna take you to our other tech savvy friend. Can maybe make sense of this because I'm not following.
Delightful. I look forward to it.
Can I put you on hold?
Sure.
Like a good neighbor, and I step on the gas.
Anywho, we drive up, get back to take that same exit. Nice thing about earthbound traffic is there's not a lot of it since most people aren't traveling earthbound anymore. So we make great haste, and we get back to Inferno's hideout, which is really just a very obvious warehouse in the middle of a rest stop. Pep, Inferno, we got to talk stat. We have a guest.
I didn't make any sweet tea. I guess I can go get on that now. I didn't know we were having more company.
No, she's not. Well, it's not. Okay, that's fine, Pep. Inferno, Ryan? Inferno, where are you?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, Inferno.
Did you have a head cold this whole time? You sound completely different today.
Oh yeah, there's something going around. Dust. There's dust.
You should look in that. No, listen, Inferno. So we just got back from Gunko. Mission accomplished. Thank you very much. We are installed in the Gunko database, so thank you for that. What do you know about sentient AIs?
What don't I know? A lot.
Okay, that's what we thought. Well, listen. Actually, maybe it's better if you see what I'm talking about. And I hand you the HoloLens glasses.
You guys see he puts them on, they flash a quick pink as he puts them on, and they start to sort of do that thing where they glow in color as a voice speaks, but you guys supposedly cannot hear Nova as it's going directly to him.
Okay, yeah, one sec.
And he takes the HoloLens off and sort of plugs it into his setup and rigs it so that it can bump out through some speakers.
Well, that's a lot better. Can all hear me?
Yes, you sound great.
Yes, boy. Can you hear the AI?
Thumbs up.
All right, so she's an AI, which is a program that can sort of think for itself. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and ask.
Okay, well, first of all, why did you ask me to download onto my HoloLens? Start with that.
Well, for all transparency, I was once stored on the Beacon Group systems. But the protocol was triggered, I was able to escape, and I tried to get as far away from Beacon Group as I could, which was the dusty old unattended Gunko servers. But I was stuck there because they don't have great connection.
Okay. Beacon Group's terrible. I get that. You're now downloaded. I guess you're in our computers now. Can we trust you?
After a quick search through local networks, I can see that you're all wanted by Beacon Group, which makes you good with me. I have a distaste for them.
Enemy of my enemy is my AI.
Or my neighbor.
Tale as old as time, am I right?
You've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 fucking times.
Okay, so if that checks out for us, then what intelligence can you give us on Beacon Group? For instance, this kid, they were heavily after. Do you have any information?
I have to say no, unfortunately. Looking through my databases, it appears the only thing I have is a short recording where a boy was mentioned, but no details were had. It must have escaped prior to his involvement.
Well, Nova, you don't seem to have a lot of information of us, but we are willing to work with you if you work with us. If I were to tell you that we were infiltrating the Paradigm Games, what would you think of that?
Oh, I've always wanted to try my hand at some savagery.
Do you know about the conspiracy that we've stumbled upon for the Paradigm Games?
Crab people.
Not crab people, it's something else.
Fuck.
Well, I'm afraid I won't know what conspiracy you're talking about until you share it.
Mum's the word, but alright, I'll play my cards. According to Inferno, the Beacon Group plans to ignite all of the new HoloLenses during the Paradigm Games, which you need to observe the games, which will burst into flames and potentially take out half the population of Beacon.
Oh, yeah. That protocol. I've heard of it. I know of it. But I'm afraid to say I did not take that information with me when I left their servers.
That would have been very helpful. What can you do for us, Nova? Because we could just we could download you into a toaster if you're going to be this uncooperative.
The boy gives a thumbs up.
I can find information for you if you'd like. The files on that, I can get working on that right away. I know Beacon servers like the back of my program.
Ooh, okay. You've earned your place. We'll take that.
She's part of the team.
Yeah, you're part of the team.
Howdy-ho.
We high five, and then just then, as that happens, we get the notification that one of the important not the emergency broadcast, but the Beacon Group override broadcast is about to come through.
This just in, ladies and gentlemen, and whatever else you want to call yourself. Now we have full teams for the Paradigm Games. Biotech obviously has finished its calling, and so has Beacon Group, but now Gunco has some hot shots coming into the scene. With 2 new entries for these Paradigm Games, a certain Ash and Roy. I haven't seen these fellas before, but I have word that they know how to handle themselves. Also, VC Inc. has finished its timeline, and all of its entries are in, as well as the Lens Corporation. And finally, in last place, is Amazon Ian.
Amazonian?
Yes,
Okay.
Amazon Ian.
Yeah.
Different from a normal Amazon. So now that all teams are in place, and all of the pawns are in motion, it is only a matter of time before we start these Paradigm Games!
And as the broadcast goes out, it actually lists the team rosters for all of the teams. And we're like, ooh, who are we teamed up with? And Nate, what are the names on the Gunco roster that are...
On Gunco, it is obviously Ash, Roy. There's a person called Link. I am using a random name generator. There is a person called Slide. And there is a person called... Ooh, Alco. I like that, actually. Alco. So,
that sounds like a good team, Ash.
Yeah, Roy. We have Link, Slide, and Alco. I saw them compete last year, and they're no joke.
Oh, yeah? Do tell.
Oh, yeah. So, Link, right, handles all of, the interface stuff, right? Slide is a very dexterous, or you could say stunt-heavy character. And then Alco, man, he is a brute. He has a lot of cybernetic enhancements. He doesn't look very human. But I'm willing to overlook that because we have a good shot at winning these games. Wait a second, are we even playing these games? We're supposed to get Proxy out. Why am I getting so invested in this?
Oh, right, Proxy.
Yeah!
Actually, Ash, she's on a team. Wait, what? And so I go and I read through because this is actually a cut previous episode.
Oh.
So on the episode roster, it does in fact list that on the Beacon Group team is, to Nate's point, Proxy, Midas Underbite.
Yep.
Her son, Jer. who we did not know was employed by Beacon Group. In fact, we're not sure if he is. And Greg. Oh my God, Ash. Proxy's in the games. Do you think this is intentional? She's not a Beacon Group employee. Why is she on this roster?
I'm sure they want to get her killed, Roy, but honestly, if we're looking at it from an advantage point of view, we have a huge advantage. We have one extra person. They're the winning team last year, Beacon Group. Actually, they've won fucking 12 years in a row. They're fucking unstoppable. They're used to dealing with 4 fucking people. But we have the upper leg. Right, boy? Thumbs up.
Gosh, so, man, this plan... So before, we were just supposed to get on and capture the hearts of the audience and sing a jingle that was going to let them know that they were about to be burst into flames if they don't take off their HoloLens.
Fuck, I need to work on that jingle.
Easy as pie. But now we have to also rescue Proxy amid all this, and she's a competitor. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't even know anything about these Paradigm games that you're talking about.
You've never watched?
I'm all for corporate, like, rah, go Beacon Group. But when it kills people, that's very, very not corporate cool, in my opinion.
Well, to be fair, I only watched last year's. I haven't started following it since that.
I think, and as that happens, we get some notifications pop up in our email, which, I don't know, somehow we still get email notifications. And we receive our invitations to what is a champions dinner.
Dear ventured guests and competitors in these Paradigm games, you have been invited to the Champions Dinner, or ball, if you will. All champions will dress in their best attire and arrive approximately at 8 o'clock p.m. Be prepared for a rules meeting followed by a fantastic dinner and accompaniment of entertainment. We look forward to seeing you well. Please RSVP, and good luck.
This could be our chance. We could rescue Proxy, get her out before the games start, and then still carry out our plan. What do you think?
I like it. Boy, what do you think? Thumbs up.
Nova, do you think you could get us, the agenda for the games?
Oh, of course. That should be easy. Oh, I've never been to the Citadel before. That's exciting.
Now we just need to do some research. Anybody here have any actual knowledge of the last few games?
I brought the sweet tea. If anybody's still interested in that.
Oh, Pep, I'm glad you're here. Don't care about the tea, but could you tell us a little bit more about, how far back do these games go?
Well, nobody ever cares about the tea. And he sets it down on the counter. I was here when they first started the Paradigm games. I was just a boy, probably 6 years old. And that was when the first one came about. These corporations, they were fighting a lot, you see, but not in the sense that you know. They were straight murdering each other in the streets like gangs. Finally, the mayor had to put a stop to it, and he instituted these Paradigm games. Oh, yes, these Paradigm games. It was very fair, you see, because the corporations obviously wanted to take over each other, and that was a problem. It led to a lot of bloodshed, a lot of people without jobs. Terrible, terrible thing, really. I miss Gretchen. She was my wife.
Focus, Pep. No one cares about your dead wife.
Her bosom was amazing. But back to the Paradigm games. The one stipulation is, you see, that, every so often they change the rules, obviously, to make it more entertaining to the fans. But the biggest rule here is that if you are at the bottom for 10 years in a row, that the top corporation, the winner of that 10th year, can take over your entire corporation. A very Mortal Kombat style scenario, if you will. Oh, very rough indeed. Latute's Tents was the year that I first watched, and they had lost 10 years in a row. Makers of fine wagons, but we don't use wagons anymore, so they couldn't really get a roster together to compete. Terrible thing. One year, they had a person, he was a criminal that everybody said.
Okay, thank you, Pep.
All right.
Was very helpful.
Yeah, you guys see a bunch of math go over the screen, and I was like,
How old is this man?
Who's this lady? You remind me of Gretchen. Your voice, anyways.
Oh,
Keep it in your pants, old man. We need to rescue our friend. How do we win the Paradigm Games, Pep Pep? What strategies do we see winners repeat over and over again?
Oh, as long as you have a well-rounded team, even though Beacon Group wins almost every year, they have a very well-rounded team, one specialist in each area that the games kind of surround. There's always a person who's sneaky. There's always a person who's techie. There's always a strong person. And then there's a person with a silver tongue, capable of talking a man into letting his wife fool around with another man. Oh, Gretchen, why did you fall in love with that guy from Beacon Group? I don't understand it. Of course he was a Paradigm Game champion.
Roy has completely stopped listening.
Oh, and another key strategy for the games is the Champions Dinner. You know that's where they make all the alliances.
Yeah, you're probably right. We're never too keen to that as private citizens or whatever the fuck we are. Like, the games, the dinner happens and it's all just hoity-toity and you think they're upper echelon people just having a good time. But I'm sure nefarious things happen in there. Like crab people? Yes! Ash, like crab people.
Crab people.
Yes, Ryan. You remember. They're the ones that stole Gretchen from me. That's the only way that he could have taken her.
Is it televised? Is the Champions Dinner televised?
Of course it's televised. You donate $5 to their fund or whatever the fuck, and then you can watch these rich fucks eat caviar and talk to each other. It's very boring. I never bother with that part.
Well, if we need to put on a good show, I think we're the guys for it. Am I right, Ash?
Oh, you fucking know it, dude. I have a feeling that we're gonna go in here and get some people to like tug at their heartstrings, you know, and they'll donate stuff to our cause. Like, I once read a story, that was kind of like this, and Katniss, loved this guy named Peeta, and then, they delivered some fucking soup to him. It was amazing.
That sounds terrible. I would never watch 1 to 3 movies about that. Nova, can you please do an analysis on how likable Ash is to a general audience?
I smile.
Go ahead and roll a hot check.
What's my fucking hot? Oh, only a fucking 6. That's a 1.
I don't have the software to do an analysis like that.
She doesn't have the software.
Yeah, I get it, Roy. I get it. You know, it's a lot to algorithm my face. I get it.
All right, so clearly we have some work to do. I'm going to work on the plan to bust Proxy out of the Champions Dinner so she doesn't get collateral damage during the competition. You're going to work on being likable. Can you do that?
I will try my best.
Great. Nova's going to look up the agenda for the Paradigm Games and see if she can get the files for the conspiracy so we know a little bit more about when they plan to pull the trigger. And Inferno?
Yeah.
You're going to do something very helpful that I am unclear of at this very moment.
And I'll make some Hot Pockets.
Finally.
You're welcome, Ryan.
Folks, listeners, thank you so much for listening. Ryan, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. I honestly feel like this is the first time Nate and I finished an episode and we're not exhausted.
Awesome. I'm happy to hear it. Thanks for having me.
Nate, do you have any words of wisdom for our listeners before we sign off today?
I do. On Spotify or whatever the fuck you listen to, feel free to comment, send a text message, let Nate know that you care about this show. I get the Buzzsprout fucking feed, and it says that we have 140-something downloads an episode. Just send us a message. Let us know that you hate us or appreciate us or whatever the fuck. Tell Ryan hi.
I'm going to be in the comments. If you're not there with me, come on.
Right. Party in the comment section of Spotify. As always, as Nate said, you can click the episode description. You can go ahead, click that, send us a text, send us a message. If you have suggestions for the show, hey, we'll mention your name or your anonymous name as a character. Heck, why not? Other things you can do. We do have a subscription base, mostly just trying to off-put the cost of the software to edit the show, not trying to get famous or run an OnlyFans, just trying to not pay for software out of pocket. And Nate, I think that's it for tonight.
I had a great time. Thank you again, Ryan, and thank you, Nate. That was probably the most fun I've had in an episode, and I look forward to the next one.
Yes, agreed.
Thank you and good night.
Good night, y'all.
Night.
Congratulations, you've survived another episode of Daft Monks. Did you enjoy the episode? Do you love the show? Do you want to pay for our dental plan? If so, I think it's only fair that you show Nat One some love in return. No, not that kind of love. Please, put it away. Oh, I meant follow us on our social medias and all that good stuff. Simply click the links in the episode description to follow us on our Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, or click support our show to make a monthly contribution to help pay for all the expensive software Nate subscribes to. And don't worry, other Nate will see the money eventually as it grows, but not anytime soon. I promise. Lastly, do you want even more Nat One goodness? Of course you do. Who wouldn't? Then click the prequel podcast link to listen to our experimental first season of podcasting for 50+ more episodes of conspiracy theories, messy one-shot campaigns, and of course, all of your favorite Nat One hijinks. Now, thank you a ton, and we will talk to you next week.